the worst kinds of rappers are the ones that don't practice. If you've ever paid attention to like a rap battle or any rapper freestyling, honestly, and you're sitting there thinking, man, this guy is really good, you would have to be a fool to think he's never said that rap before. Now, I want to be clear that I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying you'd be a fool to think that everything he said he just thought of, right? And so this is something that's usually romanticized in the hip hop community, the freestyle, impromptu music, improvisation, And the reason is because it's honestly exciting. It's entertaining to think somebody can form sentences, tell a story, or even just rhyme a whole bunch of words in a rhythm. But what can happen a lot of times is you, as a fan, you don't see the smoke and mirrors. You don't understand the grind it takes to write in syllables, to time them in a rhythm, to be able to enunciate certain uh, phonetics in a word. You don't understand the way to deliver certain tones and emphasize certain things in there, and you don't really understand the consistency it takes to be able to memorize 16 bars, 32 bars, 64 bars. So what usually happens is the work ethic, the problem solving that comes with writing a verse usually gets whittled down to the simplest form. So which I will explain is, have you ever written a lyric or a verse or something and realized what you're writing doesn't necessarily flow, doesn't make sense, it could be done better? Well, these are problems that you usually run into when you're creating any sort of song process. You could be writing the architecture for a room, you could be writing a recipe for a meal or anything like that. Sometimes you run into situations where the process doesn't go as smoothly. When that happens, for many rappers and lyricists, there comes a moment where you can either lean on your understandings or you can try to improve your skill set. Oftentimes, I see a lot of you, when it comes to the music you're releasing, you lean to your understandings. And I would implore you to try to improve your skill set alongside leaning to your understandings. That way you can get a little more organic feel from your lyricism. But the reason why I'm suggesting this is because your understanding may be limited. You may not think, you know, an Eminem verse is as amazing as a 21 Savage verse simply because of how you understand each of them. And that can be dangerous when the result you want from your art is that of elevation. So it's key to make sure we understand how a lot of the things we value work. And in my example in this video was the freestyle of a battle rapper. If you see an amazing freestyle, it's very important for you as a creative to understand how that came to be, way deeper than a person who's just a fan of that rapper or that verse or that song or that beat. So let me know in the comments with this question here. I want to ask you guys in the comments your favorite song. I want you to think of the song that you pretty much go to every time you turn on a streaming app, an iPod, whatever you tell Siri to turn to. Your favorite song. Why do you like that song? And put it in the comments. Typically, when I ask this question, I usually ask it for like, whatever's trending out there like that. The response I get is something that's tied to the beat, or I just like the flow, or I like the guy or girl on the song, right? Which is fine because it's common. But when I ask somebody who's trying to create and compete with that same artist, you get the same responses. And that goes to show me that their understanding is just limited on how they're attracted to the music. Because if you can understand that, then you can manipulate it in your favor and create better music. This is how the best musicians, the best newscasters, the best sportscasters, podcasters, it doesn't matter what you do. Anybody who's creating, they had to study what worked, why it worked, and then try to elevate and make it their own. And so that's what I'm here to encourage you guys. So yeah, let me know in the comments, why do you like your favorite song? And let me see what some of your answers are. And consider some of the things I'm saying here. Are you a consumer first? Are you simply just a fan? You just like just listening to music? Why do you even pick up an instrument and call yourself a musician? You know, these things like that. So what are we really doing? Answer these questions for me and let's have the conversation.